Hi, it's Cage Taylor from the Nocturnal. I'm here with the cast of AP Bio. AP Bio is a series that's streaming on Peacock, and the third season is about to premiere on September 3rd. NBC Universal brings back Mike O'Brien's comedy series on its new streaming service Peacock. From SNL to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Parks and Rec to Happy, the show rounds up experts in wits and bits. The show is about an AP Bio teacher, and instead of teaching his students about photosynthesis and carbon and all these other science things, he instead focuses on revenge plots for his arch nemesis and gets the kids involved. And such a quirky plot like this has to have a ton of, fun and kitschy and campy characters. Glenn Howerton plays Jack Griffin, disgraced Harvard professor turned high school AP Bio teacher. He's desperate to reign supreme over his career foe, Miles, played by Tom Bennett. And when he snags a job at his hometown high school in Toledo, he meets Patton Oswalt as Principal Durbin and Paula Pell as Secretary Helen, not to mention a clique in the faculty lounge, Lyric Lewis as history teacher Steph, Mary Stone as art teacher Mary, and Jean Villapique as home economics teacher Michelle. So first off, what is the energy like when you're feeding off each other on set? You guys are the ultimate girl group on the show. So, off screen, are you guys besties off screen? Are you guys, always hanging out when the cameras aren't rolling?
There's a lot of, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because when you say girl group energy, I'm like, Jean and I, we've talked about before that it's like sleepover energy, but I love that you said girl group because we are constantly singing, harmonizing, dancing, acting a straight up fool. So it's very fun that you called us girl group. That's very evocative of what we really are.
Truly, there's many a times that it's like, okay, and we're rolling. Okay, and now, and we've got to go. But yeah, there's like a mini of group text, a mini of eye contact, squeezes under the table while we're rolling it off.
A super gift queen. You are the gift queen.
Gift queen.
I do what I can do when I can do it. But also with that, I feel like we're constantly, at least for me, learning from each other. Like I'm soaking up like all of their energy, just like, and I feel like they, Mary and Jean, sharpen me up constantly, like in a way, like, yeah, so it's just, yeah, it's great.
Sorry. I feel like it is like a snowball effect. Like you start with this little thing, like the script, and then our energy just keeps building it. It is just a lot of energy. And if you're having a hard day or something too, like I know if I am, these ladies have my back. Like we take care of each other if something is harder, but it's mostly fun. And then sometimes it is like we're playing off camera and then they're like, we need to go do the work. And we're like, huh? Oh yeah, this job. We're doing this job.
Yeah.
And so if you were teaching a class like AP Bio, Griffin style, where you have all of this freedom, what would you teach a class on? It doesn't have to be a real high school subject. It could be anything in the world. And yeah, we could start with Lyric.
Anything in the world. Ooh, you know what? I feel like I would teach. I would teach. You know what? Actually, I am like weirdly into history. Like I know Steph Duncan is the history teacher on the show, but I'm like very into it. I feel like I would teach like fun interactive history and or how to have fun in real life. That sounds very dumb. In real life, I don't even know what that means, but like one thing, and I love to just like talk. Oh no, I would teach a true crime class. That is what I would teach. True crime survival skills, how to not get kidnapped and how to not be murdered. And that would be the class. Mm-hmm.
And then so next we can go to Mary.
Okay, I think the class that I would teach would be some kind of like hybrid where it just teaches you how to be an adult. I remember in high school, I'd always be like really worried about if I was able to be an adult, like if I'd be able to do it. So I would teach students how to balance a checkbook, teach them about civics, teach them, like a 10-minute dinner, how to like properly engage with one another, that sort of class.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then Jean?
I would teach improv, but beyond just performance improv, it's something we all do a lot because it's fun for comedy, but it's also, it would be a chance for students in school to be playful and build great communication skills. It helps you listen. It helps you be a better human being. It helps your relationship. So I would definitely do improv.
Jean, you're a good person.
Oh, Jean.
I know that about you.
I teach improv now, and that did not come up for me. I'm like, how did I get murdered?
And then if any of the your classmates taught a class in real life, who would you love to be your teacher if you're back in high school?
Paula.
I would want to be in Helen's class.
Yeah.
I have to say, if we were just like in real life with a teacher, I would want Patton to be my teacher because he is so knowledgeable about everything. He's not just a cinephile. He knows everything about everything. And I would love to just pick his brain.
Also, geology Dave in real life, Dave in here, just be my teacher so we can get out of class real quick or learn some weird asinine facts that I'm sure we don't need to know.
I would want to be in Helen's class because she is so entertaining. She is the funniest human being I think I've ever met. She never runs out of brilliant things to say. So I would just sit and be like, complete.
Yeah.
And then as queens of comedy, how do you keep, with so much happening in the world today, how do you keep, your day lighthearted? How do you, cheer yourself up when you need it, or cheer, your neighbor up, or your, family up when, in a time like this?
That is such a good question. And thank you so much for asking it. I think that all of us, even today, just felt kind of mixed emotions about feeling so proud of our show and wanting to support it, and also recognizing all the trauma that's happening in the world. And I think one of the ways that we can really uplift one another is accept what cannot change, and then changing the things that we cannot accept. I know that's not the most original answer, but I think the parts that we can change are the ways that we treat one another. And I do think, especially for the three of us, we always show up for one another.
We do. Yeah. And I would say that too. Yeah. Like definitely just embracing that. And also like, I have a baby, she's 6 months. And so I feel like, especially during this time, I feel like I turn to her a lot. Like she's so innocent, and I feel like her little sweet face reminds me of just the future and the better things that are to come and like what's ahead. And I'm like, okay, this is why we get up and, do this and have each other's backs and be there for another, because they're little innocent little nuggets out there that, this will all get better for them. So.
Yeah. And in terms of keeping it lighthearted, one thing I really am proud of about our show is that it champions vulnerable people and kindness. And we're living in a bully culture right now. And I just feel like being in this universe is a reminder to help people rise up who are maybe vulnerable or kind. As I said, just keep putting that goodness out there, and that lightheartedness is hopefully infectious and will hopefully have a great impact very soon.
And no stranger to spreading comedic goodness, Powell lends her talents into this upcoming season of AP Bio, as character Helen faces a life change at the end of the second season. Season 2 ended in a plot twist for your character, so what can viewers expect from Helen in the third season?
Oh my God. Well, of course, at the end of the second season, we find out that Helen does not have a degree, of high school degree. So she's got to be going back for some supplemental education. And of course, she's going back right in the source of her employment, right in Jack's class, to make him insane. So it was real fun because I got to wear a little backpack and just really wreak havoc at the beginning of the season as a student. The last thing you want is the staff of your school coming back in your class and being a student next to you. That's a real bummer.
And then what were you like in high school, and were you eager to return to a high school setting?
I was a class clown, 100%. I loved to do a lot of physical bits, but I was also a good student. So I was kind of a little bit of a kiss ass to certain teachers. Like I found my teachers that got like humor and that liked to play around, and I would really have like rapport with them. But I always made sure I didn't get in trouble because I was a chicken. So I didn't want I was such a chicken shit about getting in trouble. So, because I was like a good Catholic girl. So, but then I would come in and do just a whole bit. I had one teacher that was so in on the laugh all the time. He was hilarious, really dead faced, big, thick mustache and long hair. And I would go past I'd write something on the board and go past it and drag my hand all along the board. And then I'd come up and say, "You're doing a great job." And I'd pat him on the back with my chalky hand and leave a handprint. And he knew I was doing it. And the students would all laugh. And I didn't ever like to make fun of things or like do practical jokes where someone was getting made fun of. But if they were in on it, I had an audience. So I had to really work the room as usual.
And so your castmates, they said if they went back to high school and they could choose their teacher, they said both Helen and they said you. So, tell me, what would it be like teaching, the rest of your castmates? Who would you send to detention always? Who would be the teacher's pet?
Oh my God. All my castmates, I mean, the teacher's pet would probably be Patton, because Patton and I are like the codependent sort of like, we'd look at each other and I'd be like, "I know you're kind of worried about this test, but listen, you're going to do this." And he'd help me on my personal life because we'd have no boundaries with each other. I think if Jack was my student, I'd probably get real tough with him, but I'd also kind of flirt with him and be like, your hair looks good. And that's appropriate. I'm saying something appropriate to a 12-year-old. Yeah, that would be my two.
So if you had a class like how AP Bio is, and you could teach kids about anything, doesn't have to be a high school subject, what would you teach?
Oh my God. One thing I would teach, and I still don't know much about it, is just how to deal with your money, because I wish every year of my life that someone would have sat me down in high school and been like, "Okay, they're going to give you a credit card. You have no money, but they're going to give you a credit card. Don't use it because you're going to have to pay it with money." Like I remember the minute I got out of high school, I got a Visa and it was like $500 limit. And it was just Christmas morning, and out of nowhere for no reason, just getting a credit card. So I would definitely teach people that sort of thing, and just life lessons about like, don't throw yourself under the bus, stay in your own skin, know who you are, all that stuff that you have to go through a lot of heartbreak to find out. Give them all the shortcuts.
Great. And so last question. So, there's a lot going on in the world. How are you staying, cheerful and keeping everyone cheerful, being such a comedic person?
Well, it is a challenge. Some days I just have to stay off social media. I have to stay off watching the news. I sometimes like to control the news that I see, like in little bits, where I'll look just on Twitter or just online for like the big bullet points. It depends on how strong I feel that day. If I'm feeling strong, I'm like, I want to know every detail, everything. But at least every couple days, I definitely inform myself. Playing with my animals. We have a lot of pets, and they always make me laugh. And just calling friends and eating a lot of food as medicine. Food is medicine. It's antidepressant.
So I think that's all the time I have, and it was great talking to you. I hope you're staying safe and healthy.
Great to talk to you.
Paige, thank you
so much.
The third season of AP Bio drops tomorrow on Peacock. Catch up with the first 2 seasons, available now.